Hey, it says we're live. All right. Well, okay. We'll see if anybody else gets in here. Well, I see LP's in here. Oh, better. Have to get the volume turned down here. Yeah. So anyway, it's good to see you, LP. Enjoyed you and John's little thing last Sunday. I didn't get to tune into it live, but I watched it. I think Monday. So, and then I contacted John and asked for help because I'm trying to learn this whole get the titles right kind of thing. And I think I sent you a link too and showed you that the title he gave me. That video in 2 days has got 15,000 views and it's rising. And the other videos I did like it. I did like four of them that are all similar. The only difference is the way they're titled. And I took the tip that somebody, I think it was Buff, not Buff Dale Campbell, but Buff's Garage. I think he was in there and he made a comment or a suggestion that you have a subject, do the subject, and then end the thing. And I chose to end it with a burnout, which had nothing to do with this subject, but I don't know. Some kind of combination worked because it's 15,000 and climbing. The highest short I've ever had was 17,000, and that was a few years ago. So yeah, I'm pleased with all that. So anyway, uh, I'm gonna today we're going to talk about the Hot Rod Power Tour and probably the No Name Nationals some, but I'm trying to get the last stuff done to this truck before we head out because actually I'm going to get to take one of my vehicles this year instead of driving the, you know, Plan B over here. The last 2 years I've had to drive this because the LTD broke down on me, and then the last year I couldn't get this thing running right, and so anyway. But yeah, we're heading out Monday morning early, and I've asked some other guys that have channels to go along. I don't know if they will, but there may be three or four of us that travel together in a caravan, and I'll try to film as much of it as I can. There's some people I actually want to meet when we get to Indy, which is the first stop, Lucas Oil Speedway, which is actually in Brownsburg, but the Indy metropolitan area or whatever. But there's some other YouTube channels that I follow that are going to probably be there. Waylon Wire is one of them, so I hope to get to meet him. We've communicated back and forth through the years, but he is driving all the way from Washington State. And he's on the road right now, actually. I watched one of his shorts this morning. So, yeah, so I'm anxious to meet him and also anxious to maybe. I know that Dalton from Pole Barn Garage is supposed to be there, and Jim, that friend of his that has a YouTube channel too. I can't think of his YouTube channel, but and I'm sure that like Kevin from Junkyard Digs will probably be there. I usually see him every year. Used to see Derek from Vice Gift Garage, but he hasn't mentioned that he's going to Power Tour this year, so he may not be going. But yeah, we're going to look at we're going to try to meet up with some people, or at least say hi and show you what the kind of cars and vehicles there that I like. Now, one of the guys that's going with me, or he's going to follow us up, he has a Plymouth Duster with a 360 in it, and he's actually planning on running down the strip. Now they're calling for rain, so I don't know if if there'll be any drag racing, but if there is, I'm going to try to get a shot or a video of him driving down the track. So that'd be kind of cool. So we won't be taking this down the track. I haven't even drained the antifreeze out of it yet, but we're going to start getting ready for the No Name Nationals once I get back from that, because we got to get a couple of things done to this before we go to the No Name Nationals, and then we've got to get the surprise thing that I'm going to probably talk on Garage Talk about it first for the members only. And then we got to get the Dodge pickup. It's running and driving, and there's a video coming out where I do some stuff to it and do a little burnout with it to see if it'll actually turn the tires. And it appears to have a, what does Chrysler call that rear end? Not a limited slip, but a sure grip. It appears to have a sure grip rear end under it because it actually turns both wheels. Who knew? I didn't know that. It never had enough power to turn the wheels before. So, and I've got some tune-up stuff coming for it. So there's going to be, we're going to be doing a lot of videos getting it ready. Today, like I said, I want to get this thing ready. And looks like there's 2 people in there. So I appreciate the 2 people at 2 thumbs up. That's great. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to put, well, if you follow any of my shorts, I had a new windshield put into that about 4 weeks ago. And this week I was up north of here, tootling around, headed to an antique store. And I got 2 big giant rock chips on the brand new windshield. So Safelite is who our insurance company uses. So they sent them out, and he secured the cracks. And it doesn't keep me from getting a new windshield, but I was okay with if he would just secure them so they don't crack on across. And that's what he said he did, and it's guaranteed. So if it does fail, I can always get a new windshield, or I could even say I don't like the way it looks and get a new windshield now. But you know, it's not in the driver's vision, and here in Indiana, you can't get a ticket unless the crack or something is in the driver's vision. So anyway, just kind of bloviating about that. Lars, I hope you're having a good day. You're probably out delivering. It's been kind of rainy here, so that's always fun when you're making deliveries. But anyway, I am going to put some of this Rain-X on the windshield. I want to do that first now that because the guy, when he did the repairs on it, he cleaned all those areas off, and it's supposed to rain Monday. So I figure, we're going to be leaving early, so I'm probably going to be driving in the rain some. It's about the way I'm going to go, Old Highway 231, and then get on Old Highway 40 and head over to Avon, Indiana, and go north. It'd probably take me about 3 hours to get there. So, yes, sir. Been a good day so far. Just ready for the weekend. Yeah, I hear that. Hey, how's the 351 coming along? Always interested in that. Those Windsor motors and the Clevelands. Not so much on the modified like I had in the LTD. That was a 85 horse boat anchor. But, anyway, yeah, the Windsors and the Clevelands, I've had some older cars with a couple of those in them. They've been pretty good engines. So anyway, let me get to smearing this around on here, and because we got to let it kind of haze up, and then we got to buff it off. So. So LP says and I'm reading this stuff because if you watch this afterwards, you don't always get these comments. They don't show up, even though I select for it to show up. They don't. I don't know why that is. Probably something on my end. But LP says his 351 is coming along nicely. Hopefully, I'll have a video out on it sometime next week. Well, that's good. I'll be looking forward to seeing that. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think I had a 68 Ford Galaxy with a 350. I had a 68 with a 390 in it, but I'm thinking it might have been the 69. I think it was the 69 Ford Galaxy that I had that had the 351 Windsor in it. Yeah, because the 68 had a 390. Yeah, because that was probably about the last year you could get the 390. The only other thing we got to do to this before we take off is I got to get the oil changed on it. So let me set that up. And I got to get a drain pan over here and get that draining. Let's see. The oil's technically not due to be changed, but by the time I drive the Indy and back, it'll probably it'll be real close. Plus, it'll probably be close to a quart load because that thing does use about a quart of oil every 3,000 miles. Depends on how hard you're, cramming foot feed down. But I don't tend to drive it too hard. I mean, yeah, I've been showing some burnouts and stuff with it, but other than that, not really driving it too hard. Let's see. Okay. I do want to fill out one of the stickers here and put on the windshield. I know everybody talks about, writing the mileage on the filter. Well, these Wix filters are black, and I don't have a white paint pen, so I always just get these from O'Reilly's. They give them to you for free if you ask for them. I just write the next mileage on there and stick it on the windshield. Okay, so the next oil change is 77,737. Oh, if I'd have drove it around 5 more miles before I changed it, it'd have been 77777. So anyway, that's not bad for a 76 Chevy pickup with 177 or 100. Well, it's got 173 on it right now. 74, 75, 70. Oh no, it's got 170. What did I just? It don't matter. Anyway, it's due again. It's 77,000, which is 177,000. And other than a camshaft and lifters that was used, by the way, from Russell down there to Outfit's Garage. He's the one that gave me that. And I did put a new timing chain in it. Other than that, knock on wood, if that it's still running down the road. So. My air cleaner got some dirt on it. I like to have that chrome looking good. I actually took the pressure washer yesterday and washed the Dodge all up underneath the oil, the years of oil and grease, because I got to pull the inspection plate off of it and peek up in there at the clutch. And I went ahead and washed this one underneath too, because it was pretty dirty. I mean, it's been, well, it was last fall before I went to the No Name Nationals since I washed, around the oil pan, and it leaks a little. I mean, it's not got any active drips, but you know how stuff gets wet down under there. So let's see here. I was looking for my big drain pan and I couldn't find it. Well, not my big one, but this one's shouldn't have that much in it. Not like the old Dodge that had 2 gallons of gas in it when I drained it out. That was a mess. I don't know why I'm keeping that so clean, but not gonna hurt anything. Well, that was smart. Outfit's Garage. I was just talking about you, Russell. I was talking about the Chevy here. It had, it's got, well, the next oil change will be 177,737. And I've drove it pretty much about a little over 10,000 miles since you gave me that camshaft and lifters that everybody told me wouldn't work. And she's still running down the road. Might quit tomorrow, but it's still running down the road. By the way, I like Uncle Frank. Yeah, I subscribe to that channel. So yeah, Uncle Frank's Adventures. If you guys haven't seen that, you should go over there and check that out. Yeah, just getting this thing ready I leave Monday morning for power tour. So I'm just trying to get this thing, the last minute things done to it. I've been through the brakes and we checked all the fluid, the rear ends, and I had never had the rear brakes apart. I wanted to look at them. They look brand new. So yeah, Uncle Frank's Adventures is a fun channel. Yeah, well, I've been doing a thing called Race Car Ricky, and if it gets enough attention, I've been thinking about continuing to do that too, because it's kind of fun. Actually, I mean, I don't make any money at this channel. Well, I shouldn't say that. I do get some money from the members, and I've got a couple of videos that have got made a little money, like $3. But so I don't really make much. So you got to have some fun. Uh, but I was glad to see, Russell, that you decided to keep your channel going, because I actually like watching it. I don't know much about circle track racing and all that, but you're pretty informative about it. So yeah, race car Ricky's funny. Well, good. I'm glad you like it. I didn't know how many people actually see it. So anyway, and we may do some more Rick's Rusty Rex, but I got to get another vehicle first. Can't keep doing it on the same one all the time. So yeah, trying to bring a new look to things. Yeah, I can see that, and it's good. I like it. So all right, I got to get a wrench under here, and I'm gonna have to get down under here. You guys chat amongst yourselves. I can't never remember what size that thing is, whether it's 9/16, 5/8, or what. I never can remember. So we're just going to get right down in here in this mess and see what we can accomplish. Better kick this back there a little further. Sorry I can't bring you down under here, but you guys have changed oil before. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, she's coming out of there good and black. I'm shooting for 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That might be a lofty goal, but I'm going to try. Hey, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I hit 5,000 at I think it might have been around December last year. I don't know. I know recently I hit 5,500, and I looked today and I'm up another 50, and I was thinking it'd been about 45 days. I got 50 more subscribers. So anyway, yeah. The problem, I am monetized, by the way, and my watch hours and all that were really up there good, and they were starting to put ads in my stuff. Well, they put ads in there anyway, but they were actually starting to track the ads, and then I was starting to get a percentage of that when the whole YouTube rules changed again. And I've been at this since 2008, It's like 17 years or something like that. And every time I get to a goal or a line drawn in the sand by YouTube, then they change the rules. And it's happened to me 3 times now over the last 18 years, 17 years. So yeah, whether I'll ever actually get enough to actually, you know, I haven't seen any money yet because you have to make a certain amount before they'll even cut you a check. So I'm not complaining. I'm just kind of telling you. That's kind of where I'm at. Oh, and by the way, that's a 9/16 down there. You guys probably already knew that, but I obviously couldn't remember. Oh, I gotta get. I gotta get down there and pull that oil filter off. I may have to use this little doogie whopper. Oh, Russell, I don't know if you're still on there. Look what I found on Marketplace for $10. These are Chevy hubcaps, probably 73 to 76. 77, they did not use this hubcap, I know for sure. And this one's apparently off of Cheyenne because it's got the yellow stripe. And the other ones that, it's a set of them, so to speak, but the other ones have got the black line, so they're probably off of something else. But what was the other one? The big one that I had one of them, Ponderosa. No, that ain't it. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I just love these covers. So I went ahead and bought them. I'm going to clean them up. There's a couple of the doogie whoppers are missing off of it, but you may be able to buy those. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to show them to you because I know you got I think yours is a 76, right? Yeah. Old smoke show. Bonanza. Yeah. That's it. I had a Bonanza. I had a red and white Bonanza, and it had the black stripe on it. And I think the Cheyenne is the one that has the yellow stripe. That's why I think this one's probably off of a Cheyenne. The others, like I said, are black. So Bonanza. All right. Yeah, I always call it Ponderosa, I think because of that TV show with Lauren Green and Hoss and all them people. Let's see what we got going on. I just got your text. I might have. Let me look and see, and if I do, I'll send it to you. Let's see. I used to have a lot of people's phone numbers too, and then somehow when we moved my mother-in-law up here from Florida, and her phones got on our system or something, all of my contacts got on her contacts, and she was going through and so I don't know who this is, and she was deleting people. So it doesn't look like I have it. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. Look, let me look under. Yeah, I don't have it either, Russell. Sorry about that. Doesn't look like I have it either anymore. Okay. Uh, hey, Jim's in there. I was hoping maybe you'd stop in. Are you gonna? I was gonna ask you if you did. Are you gonna go over to Lucas Oil Speedway on Monday? I'm gonna. I'm only gonna do Power Tour one day this month or this year. I mean, but we're gonna go up Monday and try to spend the day. And got a couple of folks I think they're gonna travel along with us. At least be two of us for sure, maybe three. Uh, Jack's not got back with me from. He's the young man that was at the No Name Nationals last year with that Torino. He lives south of me a little bit. I don't know if he's coming or not. Let's see, what's his channel name? It's not Just Drive It. That's Stephen Holtz. Ain't that awful? Can't remember his channel name. Now that I've talked about it, I better try to figure that out, hadn't I? Let's see. Uncle, Uncle Frank's Adventures. We just talked about that, yeah. Let's see here. Da, 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 da. It'll Run. Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed to It'll Run, uh, go on over and check him out. He's got that 68/69 Torino. So, Jim says he will be in Mid Ohio this weekend and wasn't even thinking about Power Tour. Yeah, I knew when I talked to you before, you said you probably weren't going to go, but that's a pretty good haul. It'd probably be quicker for you to go to the Ohio one on Friday than it would be to go on Monday, given kind of where you're at. Uh, and Outfits Garage says, I'm trying to operate my grader while typing. Well, hey, yeah, you got to do what you got to do. Be moving them levers around. Back in the day when I was like 16 and 17, I used to spend the summers with my grandpa down in South Missouri, and he ran a road grader. But back then, it was one of them older styles where you had to push the levers forward, and it would engage into the gears, raise or lower or tilt or whatever. And I used to ride with him, and he would let me operate the three on my side. And you get to where you kind of know how to do it. So Jim says, what time will you be at Brownsburg or Lucas Oil? Well, we're going to leave here at 7:30 in the morning. It's a 3-hour trip. It'll, so, probably 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. I'm hoping. Plan to stay pretty much all day. And then we're going to drive home that evening. And Dave Heichelbeck, I guess I shouldn't have said his last name maybe, but he's the guy that went with me last year, so that you saw in the videos. Dave is going to go with me too. So he's riding with me, and we're for sure stopping along the way. And Rick's going to jump in with his, follow in behind us or lead the way or whatever with his 70. I think he has a 75, 74 Duster. It's whatever year that they instead of the 340, they put the 360 in it because that's what his is. So he's going to go along with us. And so, yeah. You got your shoes off, Russell. Yeah, using these toes to type with. That's right. Okay, so with that being said, I got to get down here and pull this filter off. You guys talk amongst yourselves again. Well, she's getting ready to rain, it looks like. Well, that took a little while longer than I planned. Good news is the oil filter screwed right off of there. The bad news is it was hot enough that I couldn't hold on to it, and I tried to do a fancy little thing and turn it upside down, and I lost it, and then it splashed everywhere. So now I got a oil cleanup to do. So yeah, I wondered. It looks like that band that's kind of headed up towards where you're at is got a little more red in it than it does here. Yesterday evening, my cousin out in Independence, which is out by Kansas City, and because we got relatives in Kansas City, Lee Summit, we got relatives in Raytown, and Independence, all that area out there. Anyway, she said a tornado came through there within a mile from their house. It didn't tear up their stuff, and they were out without power for a little while. And that same band was moving across really quick. It got here about midnight last night, but the heavy stuff went north of us. So I guess, Jim, you're planning on going to the No Name Nationals, right? I'll be honest with you, I haven't looked at your channel recently. I've been so busy. What with mom and dad and everything else that's going on. So I haven't watched your channel lately. So I just wondered, I assume you're probably going. I just got through entering both trucks. I had already entered this one. I had already entered one entry. But since it looks like I'm going to get to take the Dodge, I went ahead and entered it too. So that way, if I break the Dodge, at least I can, well, I hate to say how I'm going to get it down there and home. That's another video coming up. But if you're a member of the channel, you probably already know. But anyway. Yeah, that handsome devil on my Facebook page. Well, I posted that yesterday, I think it was. One day this week was my induction date where I went into the Air Force, or went to basic training anyway. And that was my basic training picture. So that would have been taken in 1980. Let's see, Eric was born in 81. No, he was born in 81. So it would have been 82, probably June, whatever of 82, 1982. So Russell says he's wanting to go to the No Name Nationals, but is not entered yet because the dirt track racing season might conflict. Oh, okay. Well, if you don't get to come, I need to make a road trip down to and visit you anyway. Maybe we could spend a day in the shop or do some collaboration work or something like that, because I always enjoy your company. So, yeah, well, thanks, Jim. I was, I was just a parts replacer on heavy equipment. I don't want to say mechanic. I use that word loosely, but we changed a lot of parts. All right. Well, let's get this oil filter on there. Now, I was watching a guy about what I'm doing right here. I've always put oil in the oil filter. Now you can't on like my slant 6. That's obvious because it's upside down. But anyway, he was going on about you really aren't doing any good doing that, and I don't know, some other stuff about it. He had all kinds of scientific facts why you don't want to put oil in that oil filter before you screw it back on there. But I've been changing my oil since I was 16 and helping prior to that, and I know Grandpa would have thrown a fit if you hadn't to put oil in that oil filter. I mean, so yeah, we have the S10 project to build, but we haven't gotten started good on it yet. I was thinking that you was going to do an S10 thing there with your buddy. I can't think of his name currently, but because you guys were kind of collaborating and talking about that. So, but your channel is one of them. I try to watch some, but I'll be honest with you, I haven't watched it all. I've been so busy lately with everything going on. I was telling Jim's the same way. You guys are in my feed. I get your stuff, but yeah, Doug. Doug's his name. Good old Doug. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'd like to see that S10. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah. Light them up if you got them. All right. Boy, she looks like she's getting ready to really rain. Let me get this put up on there. I better take this with me. I made such a mess down there. Oh. I'll tell you one thing, losing this 40 pounds, or I've lost 40 pounds so far, sure makes it a lot easier to get up and down off the ground. Wow. I was moving some water softener salt down to the basement the other day for the water softener, and them things are so heavy and awkward. And I dumped that stuff up, and I was looking at the bag, and it was 40 pounds, and I thought, wow, that's what I used to have strapped to my gut. So, yeah, it makes a big difference getting it up and down. That old engine's pretty clean on the inside if you can go by the cap here. If you can see it very good. Let's see. Well, I knew you had lost some weight because I could tell. That's Outfit's Garage, by the way. Russell says he's trying to get back on his diet because he had lost 50 pounds, and you can tell a big difference. I knew you were losing weight, but you've also been through some stressful times, and I have too lately. It's been real hard to stick with it, but I just try not to eat sweets, and because I'm a sweetaholic, that's for sure. Well, thank you. Yeah, 40 pounds is a lot. I want to lose another, at least another 15, maybe 20. I'd like to be about 210, 215. So, yeah. And I was way up there, I can tell you that. It wasn't 300, but it was pretty close. Yeah, I wish you could see that big oil slick under there, where that thing splashed and it whoosh, like that. So, well, you brought some down too. I'll tell you, one of the things that's really helped me, or continue, or to see some. I mean, obviously, I feel better and stuff, and can get up and down off the ground better, and bend over the truck better, and all that stuff. But my blood pressure was off the chart. You know, I was in the stroke range, pretty much just sitting in my easy chair, you know, doing deep breaths and then taking my blood pressure. So, and I'm not into pills if I don't have to take pills. So, yeah, I took my blood pressure the other night, and I'd had a stressful evening. I sat down real quick on my chair and took it, and it was 127/70. That's pretty good for me. Generally, lately, it's been running a lot lower than that. The bottom number is usually around 60, 65, something like that. And the other number is more like, 119. So, but it was a little, the other day, or the other evening when I took it last, well, it was one of them days. I'll just say that. Okay, so here's where we pour the oil all over the engine. Oh. I'm pretty sure it takes 5 with the filter, but I'm going to let it sit there a minute, and then I'm going to gauge it again. Looks like there's 7 of you in there watching. I appreciate it. Be sure and hit the thumbs up. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but the best way to support the channel is either become a member, which, a lot of you are members, and I appreciate that. And the other way is to go to shoprcindustry.com and buy some merch. I don't actually have one of my trucker hats on today. This is Tony's Hot Rod Garage. But, I do have them, and I wear them, and I RC Industry merch. A friend of mine is working on a new logo for me, so probably going to have one of the pictures of the trucks on it. So we may be changing stickers up and stuff. If you do run into me well, we're going to give some stuff away at the No Name Nationals. I started to see that, but if you run into me up at Lucas Oil Speedway on Monday, all you got to do is just say, hey, I'd like a hat, or hey, I'd like a shirt. Be bold and ask, because I'm going to bring some and I'm going to give them away till they're gone. So anyway, just be aware of that. It'll be on a first come, first served basis, of course. I mean, if I run out of them, you just have to go to shoprcindustry.com. Okay, so it's showing full, but we got we got to fill up that oil filter. So let me start this beast up. And by the way, this thing is running so much better. I just got fed up with the way it was kind of surging at idle, and I couldn't figure it out. And then it dawned on me, like an idiot. I knew this, but my foot level was too high on the front part of that Holly. So I lowered the float level down, and then because I was having to really keep it rich to keep it running, so I backed this screws out to as it was idling, and then turned the idle back down. And now when it's in gear, idling at like 600 RPM, it's just as smooth. It runs kind of rough when you first start it because it has one of them electric chokes, and that has to warm up and open the choke blade flapper all the way up. But yeah, so finally got that carburetor lined out. That's got about 35 pounds of oil pressure. Well, at first it didn't have any, but then it came right up. So, yeah, hopefully that means good things. We'll let that sit there a minute, and then we'll gauge that again. I'm trying to think what all I did do to this. I did actually clean it up, run the buffer over it again, and waxed it a little. I mean, there's not much paint there, but and I took some Rust-Oleum and touched up the rusty white parts. I've got the camper shell off of it right now because I'm getting ready to paint the camper shell if it'll ever quit raining. And I thought, well, because if I was going to go on the power tour, I was going to go 3 days to start with, and then my scheduling just won't allow that this year. But so I thought, well, I'm just going to take the top off. I need to take it off to paint it anyway. I want to paint it back white because it's mostly just the aluminum showing through now. I mean, it's so old. So I wanted to do that, and then I thought, well, I'll just drive it like this on power tour. So because we're not spending the night, we don't have to really carry anything with us much. I mean, I'm going to bring some merch with us and some tools and oil and stuff like that, a jack, and hopefully we don't need any of that, but you just never know. So anyway, all right, let's see what we got now. Yeah, she's a quart low. We're going to dump some more of this in here. Let's see how much. That shows there's a quart in there, so we're just going to fill her up. I've been buying this VR1 at O'Reilly's because that's about the only place around here that's got it. And I can't remember what it is, $37 a jug, 5 quarts, I don't know, I can't remember. But I was out at Rural King the other day, and they had some VR1 out there, and it was only like $30 a jug, 5-quart jug. So I'm going to get my social insecurity check this month. I think I'm going to go out there and buy me a couple of jugs of it because that's a better price. It's just a better price. All right. Let's just check and see if anybody else is joined in there. Looks like we're down to 4 of you watching. We've been on here about an hour. $51,061. Let's go ahead and check the brake fluid on this while we're at it. Hadn't used a drop since we got that line tightened up finally. You remember we had that issue when we went down to see Alex at something garage. Why, yeah, we lost a whole bunch of brake fluid. Ran out of brakes on I-65. That was exciting. Well, we're still on here right now, but that's all right. I appreciate you stopping in. Okay. Put this back in here. Check the old power steering fluid. Looks like we're good there. Let's see if we got any oil in the tranny submission. Oh, yeah. I'm still on, Russell. Still below V8ing. Let's see here. Let's put this back on there. And let's see what else we need to check. Oh, yeah. See if we got any cherry juice back here. Oh yeah, we're up to that part, and that usually means it's full and it's not running. Well, I'd say we're good to go there. Boy, I'm just getting stuff all over the floor everywhere. Okay. Well, you know me, married some old gal from Pomona. Yeah. Yeah, and after I did that and pieced all that together, I thought it kind of made it look like I was talking about Dylan and his girlfriend, and that wasn't exactly, no, that wasn't it at all. And each week when I do this, I'm going to probably use somebody else's shirt. So I'm not sure if Russell is next, but somebody's YouTube channel will be next, and Race Car Ricky will be defending their honor. So, and I think we got some call outs coming up. Oh, Canary's in, yeah, Curtis Canary's in there. Hello, sir. Yeah, so I think we got some call outs coming up. I know that there's been two people from the No Name Nationals group or crowd or family, I guess is more like what it is, has contacted me, and they're going to do call outs on me. So I haven't seen those yet, but when we do, I'm sure that we will respond. Perhaps Race Car Ricky will respond. I'm not sure yet, but somebody will respond. I've got to get that Dodge running a little better because I want to do a proper burnout. I got a burnout coming up on a video with the Dodge, but it's pretty lame. But before it wouldn't even turn the tires. So Jim says, what size shirt do you wear? I'm still, well, I'm liking they're loose, so a double X. I can wear an extra large, but it's a little tight. So I would prefer a double X, or whatever, 2XL or whatever it's called. That's what this one is that I got on. So pretty sure. Let me look. Yeah, this is my first generation T-shirts, and this is a double X, and this is the same size as this one is. So, hey, John's in the house. Yeah, what size does Eric wear? I'm thinking a 2X as well. He's not here, or I'd ask him, but I'm pretty sure that's what I bought him anyway. Yes, Wilburn is in the house. So anyway, as I was saying, I know there's some call outs coming out that are going to be involving me because I've been contacted by a couple of channels. So we will definitely respond to that. And I think the call outs are fun. Now, I've done some call outs myself in the past, over the past years, and only one of them has come to fruition. And that was with old Russell down there at Outfits Garage. And then that was the first year. The second year, there was a couple of call outs made, but then one person didn't show up. And the one that did show up wasn't able to bring their vehicle. Then the third year, last year, made a couple of call outs, and one didn't show up and the other showed up but had car issues. And so, but hey, it's just fun to do the call outs anyway. So, and I've got some good ideas for my responses. So I'm just waiting on to see those call outs. And then, like I said, they will respond. Race Car Ricky will respond, or somebody will respond. Hey, and while everybody's on here and John's on here, him and Lars, LP94 there, last Sunday, they did a workshop for anybody trying to build their YouTube channel. And I know that Curtis is in here from Canary's Hot Rod Garage. You should go over and watch that. And it's on John Wilburn's channel. It was really good information. I got some good information on it. Made me think about the way I title my videos and how I actually make my videos. A couple of years ago, Dalton from Pole Barn Garage gave me some tips on the way to do my videos, and it really helped. And this stuff that they were talking about Sunday on their live, this past Sunday, so go check their live out, or their workshop out, I mean. Yeah, it makes you realize you can get off track just a little bit, and if you get back on track again, your videos, and it's all about titling it correctly. And I really struggle with that. So that's the nature of call outs, unfortunately. But when they come together, they sure are fun. Absolutely, they are. Yeah, because I think we did one year with Big Mike's Hoopty Barn too. I forgot about that. That might have been the first. I don't remember that. It might have been actually last year. Maybe I forgot. I might have misspoke. Curtis says, with what I seen driving on Power Tour last year, yours should make it to California and back. Yeah. Well, I tell you, we went out to Mike is out in Arkansas City, Kansas, and that's a pretty good haul from here, 2,000 miles. And it used a quart of oil. And I think that's because coming home, we were trying to get home, and I took Interstate 70 from like Springfield, Missouri, all the way pretty much to Interstate 64, and then came home. And we were driving, I don't normally drive this thing 75 miles an hour, but we were driving, especially through St. Louis, you're going to get run over if you don't drive, 70, 75. So I think it used a little more oil, but when we go to the No Name Nationals this year, I'm probably going to take the interstate simply because of how I'm going to be getting my Dodge truck down there, which is, I think the members only right now only know about that, but there's some video coming up. So just stay tuned to the channel. Yeah, we're going to caravan down probably on Interstate 64 over to 57 and then go south and get off down there around Sikeston somewhere and slip through the country. I don't like driving through Illinois like that, but I also don't want to go across those narrow bridges with this caravan we're going to be taking to the No Name Nationals. And we are going to be leaving to go to the No Name Nationals on that Wednesday morning. So hopefully we make it there Wednesday. I'm going to drop one of the vehicles off, and then we've got a hotel room that night. But yeah, so I plan to be there Wednesday. So yeah. And I know everybody asks me when I'm going to put my hood on here. I've got a good hood. Actually, Canary's Hot Rod Garage gave me the doors for this truck and the hood. and I've got a good hood, and it's brown too. So, but I kind of like this old beat up rusty hood. I don't know. So, it's a short detour to go around those bridges. Well, you can go around over there by Metropolis and get into Illinois that way. But if I go on down and cross over by Cairo, the one bridge is still narrow. Not as narrow as the other one, but it's still pretty narrow. And that unit, I'm going to be pulling behind this thing. Then wheels stick way out on each side. So instead of hanging a left at Cairo and going across the bridge, hang a right, go through Cairo. Yeah, that's what we did last year because the bridge was actually closed, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. Now, when I went out to Micah's, we took Highway 60 all the way to Springfield, Missouri, and both bridges were open then. And the old bridge that they resurfaced, the really narrow one, it's pretty nice, but it's got this curb that instead of it being a straight curb, it's got a curb that kind of slants up over to the railing. And I'm afraid I might get one of the wheels up on that. So I don't know. Not sure what we're going to do. I may have to take a road trip and scope it out. I don't know. But we are coming down there Wednesday. So, John, if you need some help Wednesday when we get there, I mean, I'd be glad to help. I don't know what I could do, but, I can fetch and tow. But anyway, such as it is. But, well, we've been on here about an hour, guys. There's 8 of you in there. And you've been real patient with me working on my truck. I think we're ready to go. All I got to do is Monday morning, get up early, because I don't like to get up early, is get up early and go pick up Dave. He lives down the street here a little bit, and then we're going to head north on 231, and we're going to pick up Rick. He's going to follow in behind us with his Plymouth Duster. And maybe Jack from It'll Run is going to be here and follow us too. I don't know. He's not got back with me yet. And there's another gentleman, and we're going to call him Mr. Smith, who we have seen his car collection before. He may jump in on the route there on 231 too. I'm going to be texting these folks when I get ready to leave. And so we may have a big caravan of people, and we're going to take 231 all the way north to Highway 40, and then we're going to go over to Avon and then shoot up to Brownsburg. So John says they'll be setting up all day on Wednesday. It's fun and a sane pace. Well, sure. Yeah. Well, hopefully if all goes well, we'll be there. We're going to leave here probably around 8:30. And, normal driving is I could get there. And if I take the interstate, I could get there in, 3.5 hours. But I'm not going to pull this thing down I'm kind of slipping on what I'm going to do. I'm not going to drive this thing that fast, pulling something. So, and then Eric is going to be following behind in his truck, and his thing is geared like, it's got like 411s in it or something. I mean, it's really geared low. So he, for his truck to run 70 miles an hour, it's tacking that 318 out. So we're not going to be driving but about 55, but we'll still get there. So let's see, LP, have a good rest of the week, you all. Be safe on Power Tour and have I will. And thanks for coming in, Lars. You're always in on my lives, and I appreciate that. I appreciate John coming in on there, and Curtis and Jim's Fastback Garage, and we got Russell in there from I got to look. Outfits Garage. What am I thinking? Yeah. So anyway, yeah. And if I've missed somebody else, it's probably because you haven't made a comment. Because that's everybody that's made a comment. Besides RC Gardens, that was me checking to make sure that it was working. So, I guess that's it, guys. We're down to 3 people. Thanks for coming again. Be sure and like and share. And like I said a while ago, best way to support the channel, go to shop.rcindustry.com and get you some merch. Or you can join and be a member. Yeah. there are special little perks for members. You know, I do videos only for, there's videos that are out only for members. So if you're into that kind of thing, be sure and join today. All right, I think I'm going to click this thing off. This button says end stream, so I think we're ending. I don't